Hello everybody, welcome back to another Quickster Games video, and today I'll be showing you how to have random tree generation in your Unity game. So let's get into it. Okay, so basically this is a completely new Unity project, and all I have is this animated tropical vegetation asset that I'll leave a link in the description to buy this. And then I just have a terrain with a terrain material. That's all I have. It took me like 5 seconds to get this ready. But let's say you have a terrain like this and you want trees to randomly spawn around the terrain. So in the next tutorial, I'll probably be continuing this. I'll show you how to pair it up with Perlin Noise. But for now, I'm just showing you how to spawn it on a flat plane. So first thing you want to do is first of all, you want to get the tree that you want to spawn. So I'm just gonna spawn maybe a jungle tree and make it a little smaller because this is a little big, so I'll be back. Okay, so I have my jungle tree scaled down a little bit, and let's say you want this tree to spawn around your land. So first thing I am going to do is create an empty game object and call it tree generator, and we're going to make a script for that, and just going to tree generator. And once that is done, we're going to go open up the tree generator. And basically, the first thing that we are going to do is actually we have to make, so let's say you have a lot of trees spawning. You're going to want to keep it organized because you don't want the trees spawning in your hierarchy and just taking up the entire thing. So let's just say trees in world. And this is just going to be the game object that has all the trees in it. And now we're going to want to we're just going to want to see where we want to spawn it. So let's say we want to spawn it to the very edge of this terrain, to the very edge of this, very edge of this, very edge of this. So the X position is 50 and minus 50, and on the Z it's also minus 50 because this is a square. So pretty much we want to spawn it on the x-axis 50 minus 50, and on the z-axis 50 and minus 50. So to do that, what we're gonna do is, we don't need an update for this since we're not spawning every single frame, and we're just gonna make a few variables. So we're gonna make a public game object. This is gonna be our tree object. And then we're gonna make a public oh yeah, and we want that reference to our trees in world object. And also we're gonna wanna have the user specify how many trees they want, so in the editor. So we're gonna make a public integer called trees, tree amount. And finally, we're gonna have to have an array of storing this. So let's make a list of game objects. And this is going to be just trees list. This new list of game objects. And then we're gonna also want to have an array. Trees array. Oh yeah, and then we think it's C++. And that's pretty much going to be all the variables we need. And then we're going to make a for loop. So we're going to make for integer I equals 0. I is less than tree amount, or less than or equal I++. And trees list dot add And then we're going to instantiate a game object, and the game object that's instantiating is our tree object. So now we have a reference to the tree object that's spawning. So then we're going to say trees array equals trees list dot to array, and then we're gonna say trees array and then I dot transform dot position equals a new vector 3, and then this is gonna be the x position, so random dot range, and then remember what we said, so it's 50 and minus 50, so we're gonna put that in here, 50 and minus 50, and it's just gonna pick a random number. Oh wait, this has to be the other way around, that's my bad. And then since we're just generating on a flat plane, we'll leave the y as 0, but we'll change this in probably another tutorial when we're gonna pair it up with Perl and Noise. So obviously we don't want the trees just constantly flat plane, we want to actually spawn it on top of the terrain. So then we're going to say random.range, and this is for the z position, and it's the same thing since this is a square, so minus 50 and 50. And that's pretty much the tree spawning done. Now we just want to keep it organized, so trees array I.transform.parent equals trees and world object dot transform. So that is the base of our tree generator. So now we're gonna bring in our tree object and our trees and world object, and we'll set our tree amount to something like 50, and we can run, and it will generate some trees. You can see there's some trees spawning, and they're not outside of our terrain. Now they're getting pretty close. You can see it's spawning on the exact 50 coordinate, so we might want to change it to 49 so that it's not spawning like halfway off the edge. So we'll set that right now. Pretty much that is our tree spawning. Really basic actually. But yeah, now they're not spawning on the very edge. And then sometimes we run into the issue where the trees are literally spawning in each other. Like this. Two trees are spawning pretty much into each other, but that happens in real life too, so if you want to keep that in, you can. But oh yeah, and they're all organized under this trees and world game object, so they're not gonna like take up a bunch of space in your hierarchy. Yeah, I hope you had a good time watching this, and it's really customizable. You can add as much stuff as you want, but this is just, yeah, that's the tree spawning. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.